Hello everyone. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself, and I'm going to launch straight into a brand new healing protocol which I'll be inviting those people to whom this applies to do for themselves. So here we go. One really significant moment in my life was when I realised that I was doing something automatically. I've been doing it probably all my life, I had no idea. And the first way it was presented to me was with two words, and the words are hurt feeler. So hurt feeler obviously is someone who feels hurts, and the implication is it's not just feeling your own hurts, it's feeling the hurts of others. And so that was really my introduction into understanding what an empath is. And an empath is someone that is able to feel, perceive the states of others. And now what I want to do is I want to introduce to you what for me is still a pretty unfamiliar term, which is universal surrogate. It's been increasingly clear to me that this is actually what I've been doing and how I've been operating. So what universal surrogate does is they largely automatically take on the pains, the hurts, the wounds, the traumas of others, particularly the heavy emotions, the low energy state of being of others. They take these on and they transform them. Now this is great. It's wonderful for the person who's having that low energy taken away from them and having it transformed, and they feel a lot better. And this is okay in the short term and possibly even in the medium term for the person who does this, but in the long term there are problems. So what happens to some healers, they gain a lot of weight. That's how they cope with feeling other people's hurts, and I have some very good friends to whom this applies. Then there's other people that will have particular parts of their body show stress and effectively suffer as it processes all this stuff from other people. And in my case it's definitely my thyroid gland that does this, and in more recent times, as I've become more and more overloaded by transforming and healing other people's hurts, it's also been my digestive system too. We have the phrase about something being hard to stomach. Yeah, that's what it can be if you're processing other people's woundings, other people's low energy states. And my mind flicks back to different people I've known at different parts of my life, and I realise that's very much what I was doing with that person. And it does mean that if you're a person that takes on other people's hurt, you will be very much in demand, you'll be very popular, because of course this is an incredible gift that you're providing people with. And joy of joys, we've moved beyond 2012, we no longer need to make use of such practices. So I'm about to take myself through the process of transforming all this. And I want to give you the name of, for me, the best known universal surrogate, and this name literally came up to me 5 minutes ago when I was lying in bed preparing to shoot this film. And it's obvious, it's actually the cornerstone of the religion in which I was brought up in, because Jesus Christ is a perfect example of a universal surrogate, because what he chose to do is to be hung up upon a cross and be in pain and in blood loss until he died. And the expression in the Christian church is he died for our sins. So that is the ultimate universal surrogate, is taking on the wounds, the hurts, the pains of all human beings. And that was completely appropriate and totally in tune with the Piscean age, which we have still the pleasure of moving out of into the age of Aquarius. So the days of the universal surrogate are drawing fast to a close, and it's time for a new approach. And at this point I want to give great thanks to the other healing processes which I have benefited from, And exactly a week ago today, Kerry came to my house and she set me up and assisted me through a process which is called sand play. There will be a film about this in detail, and that'll be coming out soon. After that extraordinary process, which has done so much to prepare me for where I am right now, it became clear, looking at my sand tray, that I was being gifted with 3 new healings, and this is the second of the 3. And I'm going straight to the second because this is the one that is most universally applicable. This is something that anyone can do, and all you require to do this is to watch the film and do what it suggests that you do. We're calling it the protocol, so it doesn't tell you anything about it. You'll discover that as we do it. All you've got to do is switch on and go through the process. That really is it. So the very first step is to drink a minimum of 2 pints of really wonderfully good quality water. That's your first step. So I'm choosing to do this as the first thing of my day. I'm in bed, I wake up from my sleep, I have my 2 pints of water, which I've done, and I'm going to do the next stage. The next stage is very simple. I need to either be sitting or lying down for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing connected breath. So connected breath means that there's no pause between inhalation and exhalation. So as soon as I finish inhaling, I'll be switching straight on to exhale. And the way I'm going to do this as follows: I'm going to be breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. I'm going to do that for a count of 7. And I'm going to do it again for a count of 7. And again for a count of 7. And this is familiar to you if you've seen one of my films from a few months ago, Toltec Shamanism. So that was 4 times 7. This is 3 times 7, going to give us 21. So in through the nose and out through the mouth 7 times. And again 7. And again 7. So I'll do that now. That's my first set, took exactly a minute. I'll do the second and the third set without the machine on. So I've done that process 7 times, 3 times 7, 21 times. And so I'm ready for the next stage. I scan my body in this way. I surrender all tension in my left foot. And as I do each one of these, I simply put my attention in that part of my body, and I use my active imagination to see myself doing that. That's right, I just make it all up. Like with all shamanic practice, all I'm doing is using my active imagination to make it all up, to see it. So I already did that. I surrendered all tension in my left foot. I'm using the power of the word to do this. I'm making it so through the power of the word. I surrender all tension in my right foot. Indeed it is so. It's done. Simple as that. I continue. I surrender all tension in my left calf. That's the area from my left foot through to my left knee. I surrender all tension in my right calf. I surrender all tension in both my ankles. I surrender all tension in both my knees. I surrender all tension in both my thighs, left and right. Let go, let go, let go. I surrender all tensions in my pelvic region. I surrender all tension in my abdomen. Indeed it is so. I surrender all tension in my lower back. Let go, let go, let go. I surrender all tension in my spine, moving all the way from my lower back, all the way up to the top of my back, surrendering that tension, moving from my lower spine all the way up to the top of my back. Let go, let go, let go. I surrender all tension in the remains of my abdomen, my diaphragm, all my soft organs, the kidneys, the liver, the lungs, the heart, the stomach, the spleen, the pancreas, the fascia tissue, all the soft organs in the body, the bones, the rib cage, all the way up to the neck. Let go, let go, let go. I surrender all tension in my shoulders, in my collarbone region. I surrender all tension in my upper arms. I surrender all tension in my lower arms, my forearms. Indeed it is so. I surrender all tension in my wrists. I surrender all tension in my hands. I surrender all tension in my fingers, all the way to my fingertips. Let go, let go, let go. Now I surrender all tension in my neck. All tension in my neck. I surrender. Let go, let go, let go. And I allow this wonderful feeling of relaxation to be permeating my whole body all the way up into my head. And now I surrender all the accumulated tension in my head, feeling it like a magical broom stroking me from the back of my neck all the way over my head, all the way over the top, all over the sides, over all the face, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the lips, the ears, everything, all the way down the chin and back to the front of the neck. Let go, let go, let go. And I do a final scan in my body, and I surrender all remaining tiny fragments of tension that I missed in my scan. Let go, let go, let go. All surrendered. And now I put my area on the crown of my head, just tuning into the crown of my head. And I'm aware that if there's any part of my body where there is any sensation which I might wish to label or judge as pain, I can go back and take the extra time and just allow that area to be swept clean. Just imagining my magical green brush, just sweeping it clean very softly and gently. Now, my body is completely relaxed. Now I broaden my attention out into the room in which I'm being. And being in this room, what I do now is I set 4 pillars of light, one in each corner of the room. These pillars are of bright, golden honey-coloured light, so bright, so high energy. And these 4 pillars of light are creating a completely safe place of protected, high quality, intense energy vibration. And I'm surrounded by this beautiful energy vibration emanating from these 4 pillars. And now I invite this light, this vibration, the love of the pure source, into my body, completely into my body, filling my body. I now invite pure source into my body. My cup runneth over. My holy chalice, my vessel, my temple is flooded with the source. I feel it, I see it in every cell of my body, in every molecule, in every atom, in every subatomic particle in my being, surrounding me in a state of bliss, the beautiful state of bliss, the source, interpenetrating every single part of me. And now I declare my intention. I surrender my tar body and my tar picking identity. I surrender all the hurts, all the low quality energies that I have ever picked up from any being or have ever had within myself. All this low quality, heavy, negative energy, I surrender all of it. And I call this low quality negative energy, I call it tar. I surrender my tar body, all the accumulations from all the lifetimes from all other beings, and I surrender my tar picking identity. I surrender my identity as a universal surrogate. I surrender my tar body. I surrender my tar picking identity. I commit to the embodiment of bliss. I commit to dissolve every judgment. I dissolve every judgment. I dissolve every memory. I dissolve all need to act as a universal surrogate. I do this now with my open heart, in joy and in bliss. I feel myself devoted to this commitment to bliss in every choice, in every cell, every particle of my being. I am aligned with bliss. And now, with the greatest of pleasure, I offer myself as a surrogate for all those ready to surrender their tar body. My family in all its lineages, all those in suffering and attached to suffering, all those in sacrifice and attached to sacrifice, all those ready to shine bliss from pure source and embody their own self-healing nature and choices. Indeed, it is so. I intend and I dissolve tar in all the forms known and unknown, trauma, drama, judgment, the 4 archetypes of survival: wounded child, prostitute, saboteur, victim. The collective tar-taking, projecting and producing, the distortions, the limitations, the obstructions of the third-dimensional matrix, as well as Gaia and universal grids of suffering, kilthotic paths, densities and darkness. All forms of love in distortion, all dissolved, all dissolved, all dissolved now, now, now. And now I see and invite you to see the chakras. See all the chakras, including the earthly chakras, the energy centers, which are most important. So seeing the chakras and starting from the earthly ones, the base chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, all the earthly chakras. Connect them in one pillar of light. And this pillar of light goes all the way from the center of the earth, all the way up, out, through me, into the cosmos. All the way through all the chakras. This pillar is vibrating. This pillar is hollow. This pillar has the capacity to hold the energies of every possible helper as the frequency of light and sound. And all the chakras are now activated in this hollow pillar of light, connecting the earth to the heavens. And now, with the greatest of pleasure, I issue my invitation. I invite the energy of all of my guides. I invite the energy of all of my helpers. I invite the energy of my teachers, of all the shamans that have ever been in all the realities, all the planes, all the cultures. I invite all the ascended masters. I invite the council of light helpers. I invite the grounding energy of all the stones, the minerals, the crystals, the sacred mountains of all universes. I invite the spirit of all the healing plants and all the plant teachers and the plant healers. I invite the Hathors. I invite the Melchizedek. I invite the Rishis. I invite the Pleiadian, the healers. I invite the healers from the Andromeda galaxy. I invite the energy contained in them, all the morphic fields of energy healing in all planes, times, worlds, universes and realities. I invite all the angelic and archangelic realms. I invite the dolphins. I invite the whales. I invite all healing orbs of all universes. I invite the guardian helpers, the divine companions, the celestial parents. I invite all healers from the Dal universe, all the Christed beings willing to assist the universal healing through me, through myself, and through you, through yourself, in all times, planes, realities, and universes. And I invite you now to take the time to invite any other beings of your choice. And now all these beings are filling the pillar which runs from the centre of the earth out into the cosmos, through our energy centres, through our chakras. Our pillar is now filled with those frequencies that we have invited in. And now we set the intention to spin the pillar, this tube, clockwise. And we see the pillar spinning, first of all, very, very slowly. And it's almost like we've got a hand cranking device and we're just cranking it around by hand. And it's taking about a second to do a whole revolution. But we're increasing the rate of spin. And it's starting to spin faster and faster and faster. And it's spinning quickly now. It's spinning so fast you can't see the movement. Faster, 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 faster. Passing supersonic. Faster still, all the way faster still. Faster, faster, faster. And now it's spinning at light speed. And while spinning at light speed, this wonderful healing tube, pillar, throws the energy, pure and concentrated, through our particles, through our atoms, through our cells, through our organs, through our body parts, our fascia, our energy fields, out of our energy fields, dissolving the tar out into the room in which we are, out into the house, out of the house, touching everyone, touching everything, expanding out, 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 out of the locality, out of the country, out of the world, out into the cosmos, across the universes, and all the tar, all the tar, all the tar is dissolved, gone, done, indeed it is so. And this session is eternal. This session is operating in all space, in all time, eternally. And now I relax in the knowing and in the assurance that any time we ever perceive any tar, all we do is we think the thought, pillar on now, done. And the tar in that situation is simply spun out. And as the tar is spun out, it is transformed into light and universal, unconditional love. Of course, indeed it is so. And now I'm overflowing with gratitude, with delight, with relief. I'm smiling, it's so funny, it's so beautiful. And I thank all the energies, all the beings that have participated in this beautiful session we've been sharing, and for bringing this light to us and to all oneness. And we remind ourselves of this commitment we have made to bliss, to seeking the enjoyment in every moment, and to know that should at any point I encounter any being that is still stuck in the state of generating tar, it's so simple. All I do is I go pillar on now, it's gone, just like that. So I thank you for joining with me on this process. And I'm now going to add, as I was lying in bed this morning knowing I was going to do this process, what I chose to do as my voluntary free choice for myself is to feel my resistance. Because if there's one thing the tar is about, it's about resistance. And although I have been working very hard with my guides and helpers all yesterday evening, all through the nights to cleanse me, I knew there was more to be done. Of course I did. And that was manifesting in the form of resistance to this protocol. And the resistance, as I was lying in bed, was getting bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger. So what I did is I reminded myself of the film that I made some time ago. I'm talking about the rubber band effect. So as I spent the time in bed preparing for this process, what I was doing is I was experiencing the rubber band effect. And in the rubber band effect, what I was doing is I was pulling the rubber band, making it tighter and tighter. The more I was resisting the process, I spent a good hour at least resisting this process before I did it. And I'm explaining to you why I did this. So I was resisting the process, having things distract me, and all the rest of it, until finally I reached the point that I knew I'd pull that rubber band back as tight as I could go. And that was my cue. And then I had a quick bathroom break, had another half pint of water, got into the bed, got the devices out, and I was off. So that's the way I recommend you do this. Give yourself the time to resist the process first of all. Give yourself the time to pull the rubber band back. Any feeling of judgment about the process, oh it's this or it's that, really revel in that, go for that. Knowing that when you let go of that rubber band, you feel like I feel now. Wonderful. Thank you very much for coming with me on this journey. Great love to you, and great love to myself, and great love to all beings. Because as we all know, Q for the picture, thank you Shazia, thank you Ahmed, it's all about the love. Thank you. It is with great gratitude that I thank Paz I for inviting me to take part in this process which she has been creating over the last days. Thank you, Paz.